Hello, everybody. Welcome to this very special quarantine content edition of Sneak Attack Podcast. I'm Reid, your host and person talking in your ears right now. All around me, we've got people.
Dan.
Say hi.
Josh.
Dan and Josh are here. So apologies in advance. We couldn't get the whole crew. I think everyone has a very valid excuse, though. Josh and Kelsey just had a baby.
Woo!
That's right. That is a little girl, and she's
Yes.
got kind of reddish hair, and her
It's
name
amazing.
is Diana.
It's amazing. And so Kelsey is either resting deservedly or taking care of the baby, one of the two. Either way.
Can I just make a note? I feel like I didn't celebrate enough for you guys when you had kids. I don't think I fully understood just how awesome it is, and so retroactively, way to go, guys. Freaking excited for you to be dads.
You know what? I was holding a grudge, but I'm gonna let it go.
Can you guys hear
So
that?
thanks.
Kelsey just walked in.
Oh, I didn't hear that. No. Hi, Kelsey. Did we take the monkey off the back, though?
Let me see if I can get her headphones in.
Oh,
Oh, my goodness.
Here.
There she
and the
is.
baby, and the baby.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Diana wanted to come meet Danny.
Oh yeah, that's
But
right.
she's already met Reid
That's
It's
right.
true.
via FaceTime. She FaceTimes Reid when she's mad at us.
Oh nice. Oh look at that. Look at that. Oh, she's so cute.
She is so cute.
Oh, my goodness.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Oh, are you hungry?
Oh.
Yeah, that's all you are ever. Tired
Hey,
and hungry.
I can relate to that. That's just life.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
Uh,
Yep. So I had to learn how to baby wear her so I can play Animal Crossing still because you need two hands for that.
Sounds like you have
yeah,
my headphones
that's
with
smart.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to hang out?
Oh. Well, I have to feed her soon, but so I won't be
Is-
here long.
Is that a Moby wrap?
Okay. Then I'll wait. You
It is
talk.
a bobo wrap, but it's the
Bobo.
same concept as a.
Where it's just like a giant tapestry?
Yep, pretty much
Mm.
super stretchy. It's
Yep.
nice.
Yep.
Yep. And then I can eat too, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
We tried that.
Get out of the way of the baby.
We tried doing that when Mason was really young. We went into Chipotle and Tiffany was like had him in a carrier and she was eating it, just like kept spilling on his head.
Mhm.
just like pick it up like a chimp.
Yep. I have found cookie crumbs in her hair already because of this.
Nice.
So I mean, she doesn't know, so
No,
doesn't
that's
matter.
that's right.
Show this off.
She's not gonna
Oh.
remember either.
My sister made a burp cloth out of her
Nice.
sneak attack shirt because we all know that they get too small.
They get a little
Um,
tiny.
Yep, and so hers didn't fit anymore, so she made Josh a burp cloth.
So now
Awesome.
baby can puke on our logo.
I was gonna say I think that's the best use of the logo is just to vomit on. I think
Yeah, that's how we feel about your design, Mike.
Got him.
Got him.
Got him.
Is the design good enough for our child to puke on?
That's awesome. Coming soon. That's a little bit buried the lead on a merch announcement. We've got Sneak Attack burp rags coming
That's
out.
it.
Yeah,
here
there
soon,
you go.
So that's
Thanks.
something fun to look forward to. So Kelsey, because you are part of this episode now, even if you have to leave, that's totally fine. But how you doing? Like how I ask everybody, but how's life been since we talked last?
Good. I gave birth. It went okay.
I think that's like as good as can be expected in terms of the giving birth category. Just okay is like really as good as it gets.
I mean,
Yeah, it
you're
was
both alive, so
successful.
it's a win-win.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was successful. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Not sure I would recommend it to people. Would recommend epidural, but I will
Hey.
not force anyone to do that. But it did make my life a lot easier. Anyway, so yeah, I had a baby, and then the 2 weeks after that were a little rough.
Can I ask a question? And you can just answer for Kelsey's sake. Is it normal for both the husband and wife to be asleep while she's in labor?
I think it depends. Like for Tiffany, her water broke at like 2 in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and she had been up that morning. And she got up like 7 or 8 that morning, and it was a Sunday, and so she was up from 7 all the way, and then Mason wasn't delivered until 6:30 the next day, the next morning.
Yeah.
So she was up for like 24 hours. So she got an epidural, but it wasn't like she still like was very uncomfortable for the most. So she just couldn't sleep between contractions or anything like that.
Mhm.
And so for me, I just like crashed on the couch for probably half an hour, and then when things got serious, I got back up. So I don't know if normal. I think it depends on the time of day, but for me, I mean, Tiff and I both tried to at least.
Yeah, we got like an hour of sleep. I mean, it was a scheduled induction, so we knew it was coming. And so we tried to sleep the night before, and I couldn't sleep and got about an hour of sleep. Josh got about an hour and a half. And once I got the epidural, I fell asleep in between contractions, and Josh can sleep through anything. So just.
I sat sitting up in my chair.
Yep.
He woke up and she was here.
And then my nurse was like, "Oh, it's time to push." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll stay awake for this part." Yes.
That was the weirdest, and I don't know. I don't know if our listeners are mostly young or like a mixture of old, but like I don't know how relatable this is to our audience. But the funniest thing that I remember was, Tiffany, like the nurse came in and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna start pushing now," and then it was such a like very non-dramatic thing to start. It was just like, okay, like, because she was reading the thing and like, okay, contractions are coming, let's push now. And Tiffany would push, and then she'd be like, okay, great. Like, your hair is really nice. Where do you get it done? And it was so casual in between contractions and pushing. I was like, where's the drama? Like, I'm expecting more.
The drama lasts like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
really.
it.
Yeah. Well, Mason, for Mason, it was a little bit longer than 2 minutes. There was like a question as to whether or not he was gonna cooperate. Right there at the very end, but finally it got all worked out. So
was that indicative of his future too? A question of
so far.
Oh yeah.
So far.
He will cooperate.
Yeah.
Oh, he's your child. Got it.
Really leaning into it.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No, things are good. First 2 weeks were a little rough, but that's normal hormonally, and I feel like things are getting better, and we're kind of finding our routine. So
good. Love it.
Yeah, loving this 10 weeks of maternity leave because I had a baby during the summer thing.
Nice.
It's
real
not
great.
like that wasn't at all planned, right?
No, not at all. It's not like we tried really hard during certain seasons of the year.
Right, that's right. That's right.
Okay, well, I'll give this back to Josh and I'll go be mom. But
right.
it's good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Thank you, Kels.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your quarantine content, and I hope the audience enjoys laughing along with you.
Thank you.
There you go. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
We all know that if I could breastfeed, we'd rather Kelsey be here and me be taking care of the baby.
That's
I'm sure that could be arranged.
And when I say we all, I am including myself. I do kind of wish I could breastfeed. I'm a little jealous.
That's never something I experienced, but it's okay, man. You do you.
Yeah.
So we are gonna do more bar trivia tonight because I really enjoyed it last time.
Oh.
And so
Great.
this is gonna be interesting.
All won, so I feel
A
like
new opponent enters the ring.
Yeah. So I was actually kind of hoping Kelsey would be able to join us so she could dominate you all in bar trivia. But
Just dunk on us.
yeah, it would be embarrassing for you guys. But so what about the rest of you? And we talked with Kelsey, see how she's been doing. So what about the rest of you? Josh, you jump in. I know obviously your world's been completely changed since last time.
Yeah, I just take care of a baby, help Kelsey, and do absolutely as much as I possibly can. So it's been good. I'm loving it. I'm loving being dad. I'm loving taking care of the kid. I don't mind changing diapers. I haven't really encountered anything that makes me hate it yet. So I'm, aside from wishing I had both hands. So I'm trying to learn how to use that thing Kelsey's using.
Oh yeah.
The wrap thing. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to try and learn and figure that out. But honestly, Diana's not as interested in being wrapped to me as she is being wrapped to her mom, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't feed her, so it's like I feel like it's really easy to get cynical when you realize who feeds you is who you love.
It's true. You're useless now.
There was a season where Kels was having trouble breastfeeding, and so I was bottle feeding, and I was Diana's favorite person. She loved me. She'd calm down immediately when I held her, and so now she's fully breastfeeding, which is awesome. It's the best thing for the baby and her or whatever, and so it's great. It's great that they're doing that's what Kelsey wanted. But I don't feed Diana anymore with the bottle, and at least very infrequently. And so now Diana's like, "Who are you, dude? Get out of here. You're just a sweaty dude." Please give me the sweaty woman. Yeah, so like, I had to grieve with that, but also be I'm more excited than I am, like, honestly, what this thing has shown me is, holy moly, people who don't have support systems like around them when they have a kid, like especially people who don't have like family in town at all, or even like a single parent, like, man, I honestly cannot imagine. I feel like I don't give enough empathy and compassion to those people, even though I don't ever like was mean about it, but like, seriously, like, it's such an incredible task. Yeah, I can't imagine doing it on your own without any help,
Yeah. I feel like I'm selling my contribution short a little bit, but I feel like I don't do much, like I work all the time and, have the podcast and some other stuff, like, and other jobs and stuff like that. And so, like, not to say that I don't contribute, obviously, but it's just like, I know that Tiffany would say the same thing of just like, man, I couldn't do this by myself. I'd be like, man, you would do a pretty good job without me. You know what I mean? But
well,
no,
I think you undercut just the emotional stability of having somebody there. Like, a lot of times what it ends up being is me just sitting with Kelsey while she's feeding, and it maybe feels like I'm not doing anything, but for her it's very like comforting. You know what I mean? So, like, if she needs to, she can hand the baby off. If there's, it's I do think, little tiny soapbox, if you guys don't mind. Here's the deal. For a culture that gets so angry at dads for checking out, we don't praise dads enough when they're present. And so I think sometimes we like to say, like, don't steal the headline from the mom. Like, headline is, this woman is a hero. She just did one of the most incredible things a human being can do, and there's a new life. You know what I mean? That's the headline of the story. However, I don't think that, like, a dad who's willing to be present and help take care of the kid and help support the mom should be relegated to the periphery. I think we need to also, like, fully acknowledge and appreciate and value that role, because it's so important. But what I found is, like, it's so interesting. So many people I respect in my life who would say, like, on one day be like, we really need more dads to care about their families, will also tell me, listen, man, you're not important anymore. Like, you don't matter. It's all about them. You need to just get out of the way. And it's like, what? I get the heart behind it, but, like, to me, it screws with the narrative a little bit. So I think, Reid, I think you're way more important in that that equation than you may have felt like.
No, I know. I'm just playing, but
yeah, I just want to encourage anybody else. Like, it's like dads, like, it's super matters if you're there. And so, anyway, that's it. Soapbox done. I'm off. Danny, how you doing?
I'm good. Bueno.
Cool, great.
Yeah.
Dance.
That's it. I mean, I haven't had a kid recently, so
you did you did add some. You made an addition to the family yesterday.
I did.
A dog?
I did.
A cat? A mole rat?
Ooh, close.
Ooh.
Hairless?
Oh,
monkey?
No.
No, those are just people, right?
People.
That's right.
You want to show them, Dan?
I got another more ink done.
You got a tattoo?
I did.
Ooh.
It's
Does
pretty
it say
great.
Rev on it? Is it so, like, if you go to prison, you'll survive?
Yeah.
No one thinks that way. No one thinks that way. It's just you.
I thought to myself, prison might be on the horizon. I better get a tattoo that says Rev so people know not to mess with me.
Because if they mess with you, they mess with God. That's
right.
the idea.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
The people in federal penitentiaries definitely care about that.
Their mom won't pray for them anymore.
That's right. You don't mess with the cloth.
That's right.
I've been thinking more and more about, like, getting a tattoo.
Oh, you should.
Wait, what did Danny get? Did we
That would
skip
be
this?
tough.
Is it a tramp stamp? Show us your back.
It's a tramp.
Lower back.
Oh. It's not appropriate.
The tattoo isn't appropriate?
No. Okay. It's still wrapped up right now.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it's in Elvish.
Holy moly. What does it say?
Oh, so
Speak, friend, and enter?
Yes.
So that would be the tramp stamp.
Oh, Josh, you're my favorite.
I didn't even realize what that would sound like. Oh my gosh.
It's my favorite Bible verse. It's part of 2 Corinthians 12. I think it's verse 9. But it says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore,
Yes, I love that.
I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest on me."
Dude, let's go. How often were you saying that out loud while you're getting the tattoo? Because it hurts so bad.
Listen. I was like, do I listen to music? Do I listen to podcasts? I listen to music a lot during the day. So I was like, I got to have something I can like really concentrate on. So I'll listen to a podcast. I couldn't concentrate on the podcast. It was just like noise
It's like
in my
ribs,
ears.
too.
Yeah, rib cage. I mean, that's a bold spot, man.
Oh, I mean, I knew
Especially
it was going to be
for like
rough.
number 2, because like you only picked the worst spots to get tattooed.
I know.
Like,
I know.
You got your ring, like a ring tattoo. So
Yep.
it's like just on pure. There's no fat or anything. It's just pure skin and bone there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rib cage, and you've gotten so cut lately. Like again, there's no fat on you, so there's no cushion there. If I get tattooed, I wouldn't feel a thing.
It was it was quite the experience. Quite the experience.
Yeah, you're better man than I.
Next tattoo, Dan, if you want to keep doing like the pressure spots for tattoos, do the top of your foot.
Oh,
I've heard
I
that
hear.
is
I've
awful.
been told top of foot or ribs
Elbow
are the worst.
Elbow.
I've also heard what's the bone like that makes that little V shape before it goes to your crotch?
I don't. Is
Your hip
that
bone?
about your pelvis? I don't know.
Pelvis. I've heard tattoos around that area hurt a lot too.
It's the coccyx.
Yeah. Just the tip.
That's a real bone, you guys.
I know it is. That's the butt bone.
Oh,
And-
right. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Isn't that your, like your tailbone? Another name
Yeah.
for your tailbone?
that is correct. Yep. Okay. So speaking about,
How are you doing, Reid?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing swell. I thought us talking about the names of bones is a great segue into the first half of our episode, which is going to be bar trivia, which I already
Let's
announced
go.
that, so that's not a big surprise. But
You have the two most capable trivia experts.
I
here to
mean,
play.
I know none of you have surprised us with the names of 3 North American snakes that start with C.
I did
how-
answer every candy question correctly last time.
Ooh.
That's true. You got the M&M question. So, uh,
The one.
I've not proofed these questions. I have no idea how difficult they will be. And just like last time, anything you guys don't get right, I get a point. So I'm guaranteed to win on this one.
He doesn't
but
know how difficult they're gonna be, but he totally Google search most difficult bar trivia.
most difficult bar trivia. Yeah, I'm gonna go like 20-0. Just you guys aren't gonna get anything. Actually, I disagree. I did skim the first couple. I think it'll be okay. So let's get started with first question. Trivia question number 1. And remember, just scream out something so I know who wants to go first. A pool ball set, a billiards ball set, includes how many balls? Josh?
18?
That is incorrect.
Dang it. No, I know what it is. Gosh darn it. That was a dumb. I gave my immediate answer without thinking.
Is it 13?
If you guys are wrong, can I try again?
Daniel, would you like to wage a guess?
13.
13 is also incorrect.
Mm.
Is it
Okay.
19, Reid?
It's 16
16.
because 8's in the middle. So like 8 ball is the one you have to. So
What about the cue ball, though? Wouldn't that make it 17?
oh wait, no, I think 16 includes the cue ball because it goes like 1 through 7, and then the 8 ball, and then it's 9 through 15, I think. And
Right.
those are stripes,
Uh-huh.
And
but
the
that's
cue
so
ball
that's
is
Yeah,
your
that makes
ball would be
sense.
16.
That makes sense.
Yep, you're right.
That
You're
makes
right.
sense.
Yeah, because it's 2 of every color, and then
And
the
then the
8
8
ball
ball.
and
Yep.
the cue ball.
Yep.
Man, I wish I had a pool table, you know?
dude, same.
Have the
We
boys
did it
have
when I
the
was in
boys
high
over?
school.
Have the boys over? Shoot some pool?
You got space in your basement, dog. You can put
Oh.
one in.
That would be so much fun.
You could build one, Danny.
Ooh,
You could
build
build
one.
a pool table.
I saw
You
a
got
video.
access to some sweet woodworking tools, man. You could do it.
I saw a video on Reddit yesterday. It was a giant pool table, but it was on the floor,
Oh.
and you walked on it, and all of the balls were soccer balls.
Oh,
So you
interesting.
you kicked a soccer ball into the ball you wanted to go into the
Yeah.
pocket.
So is there a
That's
net
awesome.
around the perimeter then?
No, so like you don't kick it that hard, but it was like Like all the pockets have a little bit of netting around them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool looking. Like it was like a grown up arcade. You just like pay a bunch of money and then you and your friends can go play pool soccer.
I mean, that sounds more buildable to me than an
was
actual
cool,
pool
man.
table.
It was cool.
Thought about
Okay.
what it would be like to make like a not life size, but like a huge scale version of Sellers of Catan with like cardboard in the backyard, just like giant pieces, and lay it all out, and then everybody's got like stuff they gotta carry. Their houses down.
Every brick you collect is a actual brick. And if you aren't able to carry them,
giant sacks.
if you aren't able to carry them, then the robber can come take them from you.
Yeah, Reid's winning, but he's like barely making it through all the resources.
Okay, so far no one's on the board. Question number 2. The average human body contains how many pints of blood?
How many pints?
Pints.
It's not an ABC thing. We just got to guess a number.
I'll give you know what? I'll give you options.
Ooh.
There aren't, but I will give you multiple choice.
Okay.
I'll give you 3 options. Option A, 7. Option B, 9.
No.
Option C, 10.
No.
Those are all the options, Dan. You said no to every single one of them.
Dan's like, those aren't right.
I'm going to go with Reid. I'm going to go with 10.
Okay, Dan, you want to? I'm not going to say yes or no because I'm giving you multiple choice.
Fine, I'll go with 7.
7. Somehow you both are incorrect.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm even making this easy on you guys. Okay. No, the answer is 9. The average human body contains 9 pints of blood.
Make it through this whole thing.
No.
And not get a single answer.
Not a single question right. That's what I'm banking on. Okay. I'm kind of tweaking this question a little bit as well. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have 4 children. Name 2 of them, and don't just. You have to like shout out that you want to guess. So don't just like. Okay, Dan.
North and South.
That is incorrect.
Okay. I'm gonna say Asia, and and hold on, and Jesus.
Okay. You're close actually.
What Asia's one? Is that one?
No.
Oh, dang it.
North is one.
North is one of them.
Wow. Northwest.
The others are Saint, not South, Chicago, and Psalm, as in the Book of Psalms.
Out of Asia. I get it.
It's got to be the newest one.
I would imagine
his latest album.
Well, he's like had a lifestyle.
They're
change.
going through some stuff right now, though, man.
It's pray for Kanye, man.
Pray for anybody with mental illness who has nobody checking them. That's like just a.
He's running for president. He's running
dropping
for
an
president.
album tomorrow too.
He's dropping an album too.
Allegedly, he's dropping an album tomorrow.
We're getting a new
T Swift and Kanye.
A new Kanye
No, the rumor is that T Swift is like dropping this album directly to compete with Kanye because she hates him so much. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems
I'm here
like
for it.
Yeah, I'm here for the drama.
I'm here for it.
I wish our country could spend more time on that kind of drama.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's what we need right now.
Yeah, it's just more satisfying.
We all agree on masks, but we live for the T Swift Kanye drama. Okay. After 3 questions, no one's on the board. Next question. What is in this? I'll give you. Just get close. I mean, just
make
get
it
close.
True or false, Reid. That should be like the final question. Once we haven't gotten any of these right, then one of us will have to be right.
That's true. What is the diameter of a standard dartboard?
Buzz.
Josh.
16 inches.
Okay. Dan, before I say, I'm gonna let Dan give an answer.
I'm gonna say diameter center to outside, right?
Diameter's total distance, that's
right.
radius. It's centered outside.
Yeah. What was Josh's guess? Because I don't want to guess the same number.
16
inches.
16. That's definitely not right. Let's go with 26.
Okay.
26? Okay. I would have guessed 27 if I was going to
Come on, baby.
The correct answer is 17 3/4 inches.
Oh, come on now.
I'm giving Josh a
close.
point for that one.
Yes!
I like that was surprisingly close.
I've played darts.
Okay.
That was literally just a shot in the dark.
I get it.
20 inches is so big. Like
that's
we
big.
won't realize how big it is. It's really big.
These next couple questions.
Is it?
These next couple questions, I'm gonna say someone should get. Someone should be able to answer these. Next question. Other than water, Dan. What is the most consumed beverage?
But
Josh.
Gatorade.
Gatorade is unfortunately incorrect. Dan, other than water, what is the most consumed beverage? I want you to think on a global scale here, guys.
Urine.
I want to say it's milk or coffee, but I know I can only pick one.
God, I didn't even think about those. I was thinking like Dr. Pepper. Like, what's the? If you'd have said liquid, then we could have gone places, Reid. But you said beverage, so
I'm gonna say coffee.
To, like, menu items.
Okay. Both incorrect.
Both milk and coffee are incorrect?
Is it urine, Reid? Don't say that it's urine.
It's
rain.
tea.
Oh, okay.
Ow!
Rain is
That's
just
why I
water
told
still.
you to think globally.
I know. Tea crossed my mind, but I didn't think.
Yeah.
I thought coffee would be more popular.
Like China, India, England, like
China.
exclusively tea, and
Come
that's
on.
like 4 billion people just in those three
I
countries.
mean, yeah.
I've had some great tea from other countries. I even have my little mate cup over here from Argentina.
Mate.
It's great.
The mate.
My wife insisted that I try chai while I was in India, and I hated it.
Nope.
Was it just too bitter, or?
I don't remember. I just was like, nope, not for me.
It's not great. It's not great.
Okay, next question. Josh is leading 1-0. The Munich Beer Festival is held in which month?
I thought you were going to say in like which country. Which month?
Yeah.
Buzz.
Dan, you got to be quick on the draw.
I
Josh.
know. I was trying to think of what to say.
October
is correct.
Yeah, Oktoberfest, guys. Let's
Yep,
go.
that's correct.
Yeah.
2-0, Dan.
Dan, don't hesitate. Just shoot from the hip.
Okay.
I am a quiz master.
Okay, next question.
Quiz? What are these called again?
The bar trivia, but yeah, it's a quiz.
Trivia. Yeah.
What soft drink began in Morrison Drugstore in Waco, Texas in 1885?
Dr. Pepper.
Wow, I don't even need to repeat the question. Absolutely correct. That's what you get, Dan, when you don't hesitate.
That's it.
How did you know that?
Texas
of the
for
doctor?
one. Texas
okay.
for one. And the drugstore. I actually remember watching something on History Channel a long time ago about the origins of popular sodas.
Is that why it's called Dr. Pepper? Because it was in a drugstore?
Oh, well, I think it was originally
Like a medical
marketed
thing,
as
right?
like an elixir to cure things.
Oh, interesting. That's like, it's funny how many like pills or medicines are born out of other intended purposes.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, next question. It's 2-1 Josh. Next question. Who were known as the Fab Four?
Buzz.
Josh.
The first Queer Eye.
And their names were?
Oh, you gotta have names. I'm
I know their names.
No, you're wrong, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be like Lance and
No.
I can't think of any other.
Who were known as the Fab Four?
Do I have to have their names, or can I say what they were associated with?
Just what they're associated with.
They're astronauts. Part of the Mercury program?
That is incorrect.
Oh.
Guys, the Beatles.
Program, the Beatles. Oh.
I was close. I was close in time frame.
But not
you gotta
in,
give that to me.
Let's be
not
honest.
in continents.
For some of the songs they wrote, the Beatles might have been spacemen.
Yeah, I mean, Sgt. Pepper's is just a trip, man.
I feel
Okay,
so dumb now because
Listen, I
mean-
feel pretty good about my answer, Reid, because the Fab Five are the current Queer Eye guys. I could name them.
But I mean, they're okay. We're just.
But I
moving
think
on.
the last ones were the Fab Five still. I think it's not like there were five in the original cast too. So
I'm not certain. I haven't seen the original. Someone should get this question. I'm really hoping someone gets this question. Which author wrote Jurassic Park?
Um,
Are you guys serious?
I mean, I think I know who directed it.
No, the book.
Yeah, I know.
Josh, you wanna a little
I'll-
help see on this one?
Do you know this one, Danny? Because I'm beating you by one. You should take it if you think you got the answer.
I mean, I don't want to.
I'm happy to make a guess, but I would prefer you to guess first, so that I have a better chance.
I don't.
Dan, I'm gonna force you to answer.
I can't.
You don't know.
You're not gonna make a wild guess, shot in the dark. Just give us a name.
No, because the one I want to say, I'm pretty sure you're gonna say,
Okay,
Really?
Josh, go ahead.
and I know it's wrong.
It's not C.S. Lewis.
Stephen King.
That's what I was gonna say, and I knew it was wrong.
I don't know.
That is wrong.
That's why I wanted you to say it first, Danny, so I can think of something else.
I know.
Okay, Orson Welles.
Michael Crichton. You guys know this. It's Michael Crichton. Lost World.
Also, fun fact: do you guys know Orson Welles was in the Muppet movie? I completely forgot.
No, I didn't.
The original Muppet movie. He's the guy that gives them the rich and famous contract at the very end.
Okay, last question. Not last question. Next question. We got to get more than 2-1 here. Which famous singer's documentary was released in 2020 and is titled Miss Americana?
Buzz.
Josh.
Lady Gaga.
That is incorrect.
Oh wait, I think I know who it is.
Dan.
Taylor Swift.
That is correct.
I was gonna. That's.
It's like, don't like we were just talking about her, Dan.
I
Like,
know.
don't embarrass me.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I have this in my queue to watch.
Like, let's be honest. None of us expected Josh to get it, but Danny, there's some pressure here.
I watched it. It was pretty good.
Okay, we're tied up now. It's 2-2.
It's 2-2.
I highly recommend the one no, not One Direction. The Joe Bros documentary.
Oh, the one on Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here's the way it's going to work. Next person to get a question right is the winner.
Sudden death.
Ooh,
Yeah,
rapid fire. Let's
Rapid,
go.
yeah. Which young artist recently claimed 5 Grammys at the 2020 Grammy Awards?
Buzz.
Josh.
Donald Glover.
That is incorrect. Dan.
Billie Eilish.
That is correct. Dan, 2 for 2 on bar trivia. Well done, Josh.
I feel like I did immeasurably well than any of my expectations.
A valiant effort, Josh. There's nothing to be ashamed of here.
How many questions were asked, Reid?
I don't know, probably like 40.
Riveting 3-2.
It's like soccer, baby. Down to the wire.
It's just so hard to score.
It is. It's like a soccer match. It's 90 minutes, but the score ends up being 1-0.
That's it. That's
like
it.
it's all
It comes down to
defense.
sudden death.
You guys are winning on defense and PKs alone. Okay, very good. Thank you guys for indulging me. I love trivia in general, and so it's fun to be on the asking end of trivia because I get to see you guys sweat. So
I'm
what we're gonna,
literally
It's not hard to get
sweating
me
too.
to sweat.
yeah, I'm actually sweating, and I'm asking. I'm not even participating. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna transition into the clip phase of the episode, and for those of you who maybe haven't listened to one of these before. Or just not familiar, what we do is we take audience suggestions of clips that you guys want us to re-listen to and then kind of do commentary on and talk about the experience or what it was like in that moment or leading up to that moment. And so if you want to submit clips, you can still do that. There's a Google form. There will be a link in the description of this YouTube video as well as in the episode description on the podcast. And you can go to the Google form, fill out everything. A couple requirements. So you must put an episode number. If you don't put an episode number, I'm not even gonna go researching. You have to put a timestamp. If you don't put a timestamp, I'm not gonna listen to the whole episode and try and find what it is you're talking about. So just do those couple things, and then that greatly increases the odds of us listening to your submission. And so, if you want to do that, Like I said, find the link. It's still active and open. Who knows like how long we're going to keep quarantine content going, but just we have questions waiting in the wings, but if depending on how long we do it, we could get to yours no problem. So like I said, I appreciate everyone who submitted questions. I think we've had over 200 submitted since we started this. I mean, just crazy amounts. You guys are really invested in this, and I hope that you guys are enjoying this content. So I do appreciate you submitting questions and listening and being an active part of this community. So with that, Dan, let's fire up the first clip.
Wow, you're a really fun DM, Reid.
This move is called Whale. She can do it once per day, and I need everyone to roll me a Constitution saving throw. Everyone, Sherwood.
I'm just thinking about my life. Natty 20.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
13.
24.
Okay.
What do you add to it? Constitution? 21.
She balloons up to about 2 times her size. You see her suck in what feels like all the air in the room, and she lets out this horrifying, low, moaning bellow. And Brenna, you drop to 0 hit points.
Cool.
Everyone else takes 15
What?
psychic damage. That's on a success.
What do you mean that's on success?
Like, you saved from the whale,
Yeah?
you still take 15 damage. And it's not like Brenna takes double that. It's just instant 0. If all of you would have rolled below the DC, it literally would have been game over because no one could have revived you guys.
Are you guys both
I'm dead.
out?
I'm gone.
You're still
gone.
here? Okay. I got 6 hit points left.
I'm never dying.
You have 7 hit points left.
I'm never dying.
So, as most of you who have listened to Volume 1 probably know, that is the moment where Akio's fate was sealed. And we're not going to talk about the fact that I probably should have let him take no damage because he rolled a nat 20 on the Constitution saving throw.
I won't
Honestly,
talk about it because way too many people want to talk about it.
yeah, but honestly, I remember in the moment, and I was reinforced when I listened to it. I don't actively remember Dan saying nat 20, like making a big deal about the nat 20. It was just like, if you saved, you take this much. If you don't save, you die. And so that's where my brain was. And so like Dan says nat 20, but none of us react to it. It's not like, oh, awesome, good job, Dan. It's just like another thing. And so I think I was just like in the mode of like, I need to deliver this information. And in that sequence, I didn't even realize like, oh, Dan shouldn't have taken damage because he got a nat 20.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back, I feel like that's fair though, as far as everybody dies or you take.
It is one of the most powerful. Yeah, it is one of the most powerful spells in the game. Like one of the most
And it's
powerful
not like
enemy abilities.
that is what killed him. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's what knocked him out. There were like then failed saving throws and someone not wanting to resurrect him. So it's like there was a chain of events beyond that led to Akio's demise.
And I love TPK moments, and I'm always on the side of being bummed when it doesn't end in a TPK.
Yeah, and I honestly, if anyone was to like kind of draw the short straw in terms of how that situation was handed out, like I know Dan is the one who could take it the best because he just like will shrug off a character death and roll with the new guy. So
that's it.
But so like. That was submitted by Prairie Girl. It wasn't actually submitted by Prairie Girl, but that's what they wrote. And it was really just the question was what was going through everyone's mind, like in that moment when, oh crap, this person could have literally TPK'd all of us. Like, knowing that you weren't even at the end of your journey because you had to go fight Melius after that. Like
we were all either out or to single digits.
Yeah. So like, what was going through your guys' head in that moment?
I remember, like I just said, I remember being bummed that it wasn't a TPK. I love those TPK moments. I think it'd be kind of fun to have a super invested party and then just take them all out in one blow.
I don't know,
I
man.
was just trying to think of how to, like, what would be the next strategic move.
Yeah. Like, if there was a TPK, which I've said before, if it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna, like... I pull punches or like add punches all the time.
You're not going to actively drive us in that direction, but if we end up there,
if I feel like I've given you guys ample warning and you know what you're walking into, and you still willingly choose to walk in and it ends up in a TPK, I feel totally fine. There's nothing on my conscience with that.
Yep.
But like, it's really hard because in like we kind of treat this, like a drama, like an episodic drama where things are happening, and it would be really difficult for me, and I'm sure Josh, you could attest to that too. Like with Titans, like if all of your players just died, and like what happens to their golems? Like what happens to the story we've planned?
So I made an arbitrary rule that I just said right off the gate. I'm not going to kill any of these players. I'm not killing it. So to me, the tension's not going to come from whether or not the players can survive. It's whether or not they'll succeed. So I told that to the players. I told it to the audience. I was like, just so you guys know, this is because I'm basically basing it off of like Avatar, kind of the theme, like the kind of like type of story.
Sure,
and
the
so,
Na'vi.
Avatar Last Airbender, Reid. Last Airbender. And like Voltron and stuff. And it's like when you watch those shows, they're kid shows. You know that none of the lead characters are gonna die, but you're still invested because the story's interesting. So that's like they can still lose, you know what I mean? But I won't ever like if a bad guy beats him, he'll just like tie him up, the classic like old cartoon thing.
Right. Snidely Whiplash style.
Yeah, but I have played games. I have DM games, specifically one with you, Reid, where I TPK'd the whole party.
You did.
Yeah, with a big old direwolf that I accidentally made way stronger than it should have been.
Yeah. But it was also kind of like the logical conclusion of the story anyways, because we were testing out Pathfinder to see if we wanted to play it, and we didn't want to play it.
So it's like, should we all die? Yeah, I'm pretty sure like you were the last character alive, Reid, if I remember, and you were like, should I jump on the wolf's back? Yes.
I was the last one alive. I was Fernando Montenegro de la Noche, the Spanish bard.
And you had the guitar riff on your phone.
Yep, I had it queued up every time I would do anything bardic. I would do, and then I would do my spell.
That's how you entered the room.
I love it.
You walked in behind Tyler and playing it.
Yeah. I kicked the door open. I was like, "Como están?" I played the riff. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Pretty good. That's the only time we played Pathfinder.
Yep.
How great would it have been to TPK our group and then narratively fast forward to where Valisar's come back? Valisar's come back, and these new heroes are in an evil occupied world and have to somehow stumble upon the remains of the old heroes and figure out their journey.
He could fast forward Brandis if he wanted to.
That's
and
true.
All of our characters could have died, and everything we fought for completely failed, and Valisar came back.
I mean, I had to consider that along the way of like, if there is a TPK at some point, if the players just decide to be stupid, like, and throw themselves off of eagles that they're flying, like, what would I do? And I think I wouldn't just like, I would make there be serious consequences of failure for one, because if all of a sudden it's like, all right, here's 4 new heroes who get this amulet and start right where we left off, like that would feel really bad. And
kind of like a post-mortem on like what happened in the world.
Yeah, I think I would probably jump forward like several hundred years, and like I like the idea of like fighting in a like occupied, war-torn kind of civilization.
Kind of did that with the Chronicum a little bit.
Yeah. I would take it like the natural evolution of that, and take it like to the full degree, and have every island occupied by like a Deva warlord, and like that all report up to Valisar, and everyone's enslaved, and building more statues for him, and blah blah blah. So. That's probably what I'd do. That's cool. That's a cool thought train though. I enjoy those experiments. So thank you for that, Prairie Girl, who I actually believe is Matt. So thank you.
I'm so disappointed, Reid, because that name has become so infamous amidst like the Sneak Attack faithful, the sneakers.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows the name Prairie Girl, but she's probably gone. Like the biggest bummer for me is I wish she was still around. I know she hates my guts, but I wish she was still around just to know like how like integral she has become.
The thing is, she updated her review when we switched to sci-fi and gave us a worse score.
She said like a 1 star.
Yeah, so she was 4 stars before and said the show's okay.
A mean review.
The show's okay. Greg needs to die.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, I'll
don't
still
like
take
the player, don't like the character.
I'll still take 4 stars though. Like I like Greg, whatever. But I'll take 4 stars. But then when we switched to volume 2, she adjusted her review to 2 stars. So she listened the entire time. Maybe still listening, Prayer Girl, if you're out there. Hit us up, dog.
I really do.
I know,
he is.
Yeah.
Can we please? Can we make a shirt or a pin that says "I'm Prairie Girl"?
No. Oh my gosh.
Like in Zodiac. Like in Zodiac.
Yes.
We are all Prayer Girl. I'm Spartacus, kind of thing.
Yes. I would wear that shirt.
Some
Yeah,
kind of
so-
super cryptic kind of like design, like nobody knows who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or just like a straight up super cowgirl thing with like a cow hat.
Oh no, it'd be funny if it was like Zodiac, like the foreign symbols, but it was like a word search and just like
Yeah.
written in the symbols was
Prayer
"I
girl."
am prayer girl." Yeah.
I love it.
No, but she adjusted her review down to 2 stars and said that she hates sci-fi. And again, like I don't. That's fine. Like I totally respect that. But like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And
So
I
it's like
don't
it's just
mind
funny
getting
to me
called out.
that out like 156 episodes never dissuaded her. So I appreciate it. So prayer girl, again, if
memorable.
you're out there,
So
hit me
memorable.
up at Sneak Podcast. Okay, Dan, let's jump to clip number 2.
All right, here we go.
What up, loyal Sneak Attack listeners? My name is Reid, your DM and host of Sneak Attack. We've got our Audible corner here at Sneak Attack. It's where we talk about our friends over at Audible, audibletrial.com/sneak. We've got a book recommendation. Kelsey has one this week. What's the book, Kelsey?
If you're interested in quantum physics, the multiverse, Schrodinger's cat, and the idea of the road not taken, and
man.
what could have been if you had made decisions differently, read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Terrifying.
Dark Matter by whom?
That book is my
Blake.
fever dream.
Blake Crouch.
Do you know what a fever dream is?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, quantum physics had me sleeping, but then parallel universes and stuff and someone's cat.
Multiverse.
Yeah, multiverse.
Schrodinger's
I was
cat.
right back in. First I was gone, now I'm back.
You know that that's all part of quantum physics, right?
Nah, don't tell me that. Do I ruin something that's cool by getting science involved?
So that was from Will. Thank you, Will. His message just said, "Science is cool, Reid." And
That was a great back and forth.
I listened to the clip and I had to laugh to myself because like I make a very offhand. I don't actually believe it, of course, but I just make an offhand joke about how boring science is, and I've built an entire game system around like sci-fi and technology. I was like, man, look how far we've come.
Gotta love it.
I read the book and now I'm on board. By the way, Sneak Attack listeners, that link is still active. You can use audibletrial.com/sneak to get a free audiobook. We don't promote it very much anymore, but it is still active and some people do still use it. So
Let's
if you
go.
want a free audiobook credit, audibletrial.com/sneak. Check it out. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that. I just thought it was funny because of the sci-fi thing now. So
That was a good call out. That was a great clip.
thank you, Will. Let's do clip number 3 there, Danny. So Brenna goes back to Saturn's Tavern, and inside you can see Vince and the zombies setting up. And Steven, he walks up to you. He goes, "Oh, you made it!
Wouldn't have missed it.
Oh, cool." He kind of turns and says, "Guys, this is a guy I was telling you about. She said she plays a mean banjo, so gonna give her the chance to try out. You know, maybe play a couple sets with us, just kind of see how it all shakes out." And they just like glassy eyed, stone face go, and he's like, "Oh, they like you."
I'm glad you can interpret that.
So, whenever you're ready, we'll just go ahead and get up there and
Okay, I get out my banjo, I tune it.
okay.
Twang, twang, twang.
Yeah,
twang,
it's a great
twang,
effect,
twang,
Josh.
twang.
So
Okay.
great.
Yeah, it's tuned.
Yeah, cool. Do I have to roll for it or?
No, I can
Okay.
tell.
Oh,
just
good.
from listening.
Good. Okay. So let's go.
All right,
let's
so
go.
you stand there, very passionately stoic at first, very looking down at the ground.
Power stance.
Yes, definitely a power stance.
My feet are shoulder width apart.
Yep. Looking down, you've got your left hand on the neck of the banjo.
Oh, yeah.
Your right hand is free, and
I can feel it.
you very emphatically give a big strum down the banjo, and the whole place explodes.
I play a mean banjo.
All the stuff flies off the shelves. People are screaming. Steven jumps to his feet, starts clapping like crazy.
It's like Back to
I
the
look
Future.
really confused,
He goes.
but then I play it off like I know what's going on.
he goes. That's all we need to hear. That's it. He said.
Great.
When can you start? Oh, that is one of my favorite moments from Volume 1.
So
It's
great.
how that all worked out. I'd forgotten that you guys were separated, and like Grayek, Sherwood, and Akio were somewhere else when the asteroid hit, and then we did like a flashback, just a few minutes or an hour or something, to Brenna auditioning for Vince and the Zombies.
We all knew that the asteroid was coming, and it
Yeah.
was just you were able to work it in really well. Was that like fly the moment, Reid?
That's exactly what the question was, and that question comes to us from Matt. So thank you, Matt, for the clip. And yeah, the question was that moment improvised? And 100% it was improvised.
I feel like you and Kelsey are able to riff off each other so freaking well. It's really incredible.
It's like a telepathic thing. Like I'm able to pick up what she's putting down, and she's able to kind of pick up what I'm putting down. It's this unspoken thing, and yeah, like we did it in the epilogue really well, and I just feel like there are times, all throughout the volume 1 and even volume 2, where it's just like I don't know, I get a really good vibe, and we're just like vibing off each other. So
I feel like we all got chemistry, but I do feel like you and Kelsey can like riff really well. Even the last couple clips, I feel like showcase that.
Yeah. There are a few moments that I feel serendipity or some sort of just sheer luck are involved and are able to set up these story moments within the show, and this is definitely one of them for me. Like, just because I obviously planned the asteroid, that was a very specific beat that I wanted to introduce to get you guys into the mountain, to get you to face Malamet and blah blah blah. And so the fact that you guys were separated and then we did your thing first, and it just like all like layered in together. And Kelsey said, I think even the episode before that, I want to audition for Vince and the Zombies.
Yep, that was her initiative. Yeah.
It all just built itself up beautifully, and yeah, I love that moment so much. It was one of the very first moments that I felt like, oh, this is really cool. Like how everything, because that was episode 14.
Yeah, I'm about to say that was early enough where I was like, I worked really hard to find sound effects and took tons of time at the edit.
Dude, no, the effects were perfect. You actually found like someone tuning a banjo. Like
I'm pretty sure I found a guy who teaches banjo on YouTube, and I just grabbed that video and snagged a couple things of him just tuning.
It was perfect. I loved it, and yeah,
I wish I could have kept that dedication up for 3 years. I really wish I could have, like, because it does actually like add something to the final product when you've got that kind of attention to detail.
Yeah, well, it's funny that you should say that, Josh, because our next clip, but in particular, is a perfect example of you and the dedication to the craft. But the next 2 clips are much longer than we're used to on these commentary clip episodes. So maybe grab some popcorn. It's not like 10 minutes or anything like that. I think they're like 3 and 4 minutes apiece, but still much longer than we're used to. So again, thank you, Matt, for that question. It's fun looking back to like episode 14 because it was so long ago for us. I mean, 5 years ago, and it's just fun to remember like where we were and like
how many children ago between all of us.
I think that's like 5 kids actually. Yeah, like just like so much has happened, and the show has gotten like it's such a different place than it was back then. So it's fun to think back in those moments where we were recording in my kitchen or stuff like that. And anyways, I appreciate the submission, especially that early on. So Dan, let's hit us with clip number 4.
You cast aside the barrier stopping the door from being open, and with one fell motion, you just push on both doors, and they go swinging open. And standing 20 feet from the entrance, eyes glaring down at you, is the face of Randy the Dragon.
Colonel, the scale!
Colonel opens the pot with it facing the dragon.
It sees the 4 of you standing at the doorway. It inhales a mighty, deep breath and shoots out an immense, frigid cold blast. But before it can get to you, the intense cold blast shouted at you from this dragon is immediately dissipated and evaporates before it can reach you and deal any damage, thanks to the scale of Cyrenax held in the Colonel's hands. Angrily, furious that is unable to freeze you, it starts stomping around, spins in a circle, and tries once more. However, it is still unable to reach you. What do you do, Grayek?
Can he get the thing from the Colonel? The scale?
You want to steal his thunder?
No, how about he looks at Colonel and he goes, like the battering ram, and he grabs one side of the pot. Yeah. And we run at the dragon together.
You approach the maw of the great beast. It stares you down like nothing you've ever experienced before. What do you do?
Well, I'm assuming we're going to try and like swing it so that
So it breaks on the dragon? Like you would empty like a water bucket?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Ice bucket challenge.
Just give it a yeah.
Give it a good old heave.
Yeah.
All right.
We give it a good old heave right in front of his face.
As you get close, it opens its mouth wide enough to fit both of you inside. And right as it lunges towards you,
Randy!
you stop and hurl the contents of this clay pot towards it. Go ahead and roll me collectively a dexterity. It's like just a dexterity throw.
This is not
Okay.
gonna be good.
12.
I got 12 too. Can I use my bardic inspiration? Or is that gonna
Absolutely.
be enough? Oh, an 8 on top of the 12 for 20.
Yes!
Before the jaws can clamp around you, you can feel the intense frigid cold start to surround you as its mouth gets on either side. The scale goes shooting out of the pot, and just as it leaves the pot, it is too bright to even stare at anymore. You put your heads down, and right as its teeth make contact with your armor, Graic, it stops, and you hear and it starts swallowing, gasping for air. From outside, you can see this bright, burning red figure start to make its way deeper in through the translucent body of the creature. Steam and smoke begin to rise off the surface of the creature, and it begins freaking out, legs stomping all in every direction, spinning around wildly. It realizes what's going on. It tries to flap its wings and shoot towards the sky, but it's so disoriented and lost that it crashes back down to the ground. Suddenly, it begins shrinking in size. The intense heat from inside is burning it from the inside out, and after a few seconds, you begin to see cracks forming on the surface. It is small enough now, Greg, that if you were wanting to hit it with something, you could do so.
I totally Happy Gilmore that thing with my maul.
With a great and mighty impact, the hammer strikes the crack of this dragon, and light and heat and radiant energies begin to explode out of this creature, and it throws its head back, shoots its mouth open, and begins to scream towards the sky as fire and frost both shoot from its mouth, and it falls backwards, evaporates, and turns into a puddle of water, filling the streets with water.
Dude.
Randy the dragon has been defeated.
Yes!
Yeah.
By the scale
killed
of
Randy!
Cyrenax.
So great.
It's
Wonderful memory.
there's so much about the Christmas episode, like the first holiday episode, that I just do not remember because it was I think that was like episode 82, so that was still
Those puzzles were awesome. You had the little rhyme from the dangerous elves,
the little fake elves, yeah.
stabby elves, and I loved that. I absolutely
And
loved that.
your little musical intro with as sung by
Oh my gosh.
Ashton, yeah.
Sherwood Moss Beard, he's kind of weird.
Yep.
Fine.
Thorn whipping vines all of the time. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yep.
I
Guys, I
completely
miss playing
forgot about that.
D&D.
I know, dude. I do too. The it's really great because I remember Josh came to me and was like, "Hey, I have this idea. It's for this really ambitious song. Also, I already wrote it." And I was like, "Listen, I love it. If you can get it, like, I don't have the time to facilitate that, but if you can get it made, absolutely." And then like 2 days later, he's like, "Yeah, it's done. Like, it's made. I got our buddy Ryan who edits Volume 2 for me."
Yeah,
He's
he's
like,
moved back to town. He's in town again.
Yeah, he's in town again. He's back. He's back in Nebraska. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to connect with him again. So
I'm constantly amazed at like just how many talented people live in our town in Lincoln. Like you wouldn't think like the landlocked Nebraska, you know what I
Right.
mean, would
doesn't
would
scream like creative talent.
no, Midwest, super flat, not a lot of like visual beauty in terms of mountains and, you know, trees and things. I find it beautiful, but not everybody does. But it's amazing like how much is here, like how many capable, talented people live here. And so I always like loved getting a chance to like, we had like 10 people who helped with that. Like
It was like a full ensemble choir.
choir, yeah, that actually like, and I think Mike's wife Melody, she helped kind of direct it, though we refused to acknowledge her in the, in the acknowledgement because you were trying to just mess with her. You wanted to like
Me and Mike's wife, we're good friends, and we mess with each other all the time, and so that was like the ultimate like
actively avoided
not
giving her
acknowledging her
credit.
contribution. Yeah. Adam was also in it. He's the guy who's doing all of our art, like
Yeah,
official
Kovar.
Volume 2 art. Like he was
Yeah,
part of
man.
it as well.
I was there when they recorded it. It was super fun. It was super fun to watch. And I it's like those kind of things make me want to just do that kind of stuff all the time. Just come up with a creative idea, gather a bunch of super talented people together, and like I was there just as a producer. You know what I mean? Just going like, yeah, this is what we want to do, and everyone was on board, and then the people who knew what they were doing took over, and I just got to watch a cool thing happen.
Yeah. So that clip was submitted by Ellen, and she says
that was a blast.
Yeah,
that the dragon, that whole adventure was a freaking awesome blast.
The point she specifically wanted to call out is it seemed like, because like this was episode I think 82 or 84, I don't have it written down, but the Colonel got introduced to like episode 70, so this is really the Colonel's big first adventure that he goes on with the group.
It's an extra long episode too, right?
Oh, it's like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, holiday.
And so what Ellen pointed out is this really feels like the first time that the Colonel and the group kind of congeal together in this way to where like you went through this big trial to defeat this big enemy. And it was again not intended to be that way because I'm not that smart and I don't plan that well. It was just like, oh, Christmas is coming, like let's do something. And so, but it ended up working out really great to make the Colonel feel like, oh, okay, he has a place here now. And I think that was like really the big tipping point for his integration into the rest of the party. And so it was a really cool observation and like really cool timing how that all came to be. And so thank you, Ellen, for calling that out, because again, I know 82 is pretty late, but it's over halfway into Volume 1's lifespan, but still feels like forever ago.
Oh man, for real.
Yeah. And what's even crazy, again, like I don't want to beat this to death or anything like that. It's just crazy to me that, you know, there are people who are listening to this right now who have been passionately listening to the show since episode 14.
Since 2015.
Yeah,
right.
since we started.
Yeah.
And
the OGs.
I know that's not everybody, and there's like I'm not playing favorites or anything like that, but I cannot believe that the community that has been built up around this show has been so sustaining.
Oh yeah.
Well, you think about it, right? Like, so we were shocked. We had like 500 downloads the first month.
Yeah.
And that was like jaw dropping for us. And even now, like thinking about it, like, so at most there could be 500 people who are following us since day one. I don't think all of them probably stayed. Like some dropped off, but like somewhere from 0 to 500 is the amount of people that could have been with us since day one, which just seems astronomical to me. Like that alone seems like a way too big a number. And so the fact that it's grown and we've had more people join and follow it really is humbling and
right. I mean, now
super amazing.
Again, not to like be a bragging thing or like, but like we're at 6.5 million downloads lifetime right now. And we started with like, and that all came from that core group of 500 people who were like, I love this thing.
Yeah. Wanted to share it with other people.
Wanted to share it with people. Yeah. Like that's what I love about the community so much is just like,
yeah, we didn't, you
guys don't shut up about
Facebook
it. Yeah.
Or like do some kind of
you guys
campaign.
You guys are just fans, and it definitely shows in these clips you've submitted, and like that you go back and re-listen to the old stuff and are still finding things to share with other people, and we love it. I love it. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last clip number 5. This is also submitted by Ellen. Again, this is a little bit of a long one too, but this is a good one in my opinion. So go ahead and hit us with it, Dan.
Greg, one of the dwarves runs up to you.
Good one or a bad one?
It looked like a bad one, but
Greg kind of like summons the hammer to his left
his left hand.
Yeah, and just holds it out.
All right,
trying not to show that his right one's not working.
As soon as it does, and the hammer goes your hand, it like drops suddenly, just not used to the weight.
Yeah.
And the dwarf runs up and like throws his weapon to the ground as he runs up towards you, and rips his helmet off. And standing before you is Brigand Stronghammer.
What? The king?
The king.
My father?
Your father.
This is happening?
Warning, he's probably going to die soon.
I kneel.
You kneel. He says, "Aye, lad, you don't have to kneel for me. What are you doing here?"
What are you doing? Are those your men? Kind of tries to nod towards the armored soldiers that you said were...
Yeah. He's like, "Aye, these are my men."
You came.
Of course.
I brought you the hammer. I brought back Danet's hammer. And he reaches back and he says, "And the axe of Melius and the belt of the dwarven kind. And he starts reaching his patch. He's like
as you're doing all this,
beacon of Harkin.
As you're doing all this, he starts like gesturing towards his men to like move forward, and they're starting to like huddle around you guys. They're kind of looking around. Brigand honestly doesn't seem that. He doesn't seem to care that much about like all the things that you're presenting at this point. Like you kneel, and he's just like okay, and he seems disinterested with what you're presenting. And Brenna, I need you to roll me a perception check real quick.
19.
19, okay. Brenna, you notice all this as Greyx suddenly is filled with emotion and just goes into like almost dwarven autopilot mode of family and honor and duty and all this stuff. You notice that Brigand's hand, as he's like looking at his son and all this stuff, starts like creeping up towards his weapon. And the other dwarven companions are kind of like circling Milo.
How far is Milo from me?
Between you and Greg.
Okay, I'm gonna step forward and kind of pull Milo to me, like put my arm kind of in front of him, and
one of the dwarves is gonna like step in and be like, "Hey, you're obviously hurt. I can't believe you survived that mighty tumble there." He kind of like put some distance between you and Milo, and he like looks you up and down, like checks you for scrapes and everything.
Fine.
And
I'm fine.
Oh no, you've been through something
I'm fine.
traumatic.
No, I'm fine. You need to move, please.
We should look at the boy.
No, the boy is fine.
Greg, it's all right, Brenda. They're from Burgess. These are strong-hammer dwarves.
Brenna messages Gray. Then why is your dad reaching for his weapon?
He looks back at his dad, just kind of like questioning.
Hand, like you can see it actively reaching around the hilt of his sword.
He reaches down for his hammer, but like a question on his face.
Okay.
Like, Father, what's going on? You're not here to help the people of Rockbrook.
Roll me, Greg, a dexterity saving throw.
For a broken heart.
4. Every dad, you can't leave one dad alone.
Leave the dads
Let
alone.
one just be all right.
What did Rick do to you?
He takes out his sword and shoves it in your stomach. And as he does, his appearance shifts and contorts and turns into a faceless gray figure you know to be a doppelganger.
Oh, no.
Meepa!
That one hurt a little.
Gosh, I was so ready to have like an emotional moment with you, Reid. Like as a player, I was so invested in having a moment that I was actually kind of surprised personally.
It's funny because I remember I remember planning that part and kind of like, because I think we even teased a little bit with the doppelgangers leading up to that moment, specifically in that
Shapeshifters were like a faction that had like become part of the war.
Right. Yeah,
Right?
they'd like sided with certain groups counter to your objectives, and we saw them shortly before that whole Rockbrook thing, and so it was kind of like teasing that moment, and I felt great about like what I had written of like, oh, this will be really great because they'll think it's a dad thing, and then I'll get to like do the bait and switch and blah blah blah. But when you start being like, I got the hammer and I got the axe and I got all this stuff, like, aren't you proud of me, Dad? I started going like, oh no, like this is really difficult all of a sudden.
It made sense that you stabbed me because I think did I get out of the fight? Did that knock me down?
So if I'm not mistaken, and I this is a while ago, and it was also right. This is like episode 142, so it was like right before the end. I was kind of like ramping up towards what I knew the ending was going to be. So I apologize if I'm not super accurate on this, but I think you guys were fighting dwarven clans that had sided with the Prince of the Apocalypse.
Yes,
and there was like a big rock slide. Like they fired like catapults or trebuchets up into the top of the mountain, and then when they exploded, they all came cascading down. And Akio, I think, actually got flat out like flattened. Yep. Like I'm pretty sure you got like 0 HP by one of these rocks crushing you. And then and Greg, the reason why I think your arm was messed up is because you tried to shield it and it like broke your arm.
That's
when it
right.
deflected. I think, I'm not positive,
I remember that. Yeah.
So then, like, after that battle was kind of like at a standstill, and Milo
we were
was
on our last leg.
Milo was sneaking back, like, because he was like stealthing his way back because he got separated for some reason. I don't really remember why.
Well, that's where we first encountered the doppelgangers. Was with him.
Right.
Out in the woods.
That's right. Yeah. I knew that I introduced them just before that, and so yeah, like. When there was like a ceasefire, then I think I tried to sell it like, oh, the group realized it was you, and then all that came to be, and that was from Ellen as well, like I said earlier, and she again just pointed out like, she called it like very terrible of me to do, like it was like I'm an evil person for orchestrating this, and I agree, but just like again the emotion that you conveyed instantly, I like made even on the re-listen, I go, man, I'm a terrible person. For just
so
like
here's the deal,
like that.
With Grayek, like I constantly thought about like what he would do in different circumstances. That was just like a fun like throughout the week activity for my brain, and like what he would do if he saw his dad is one of them for sure. Like is like that's such a huge thing for him. He hadn't seen him since he was banished, and his father refused to acknowledge him. So like he literally, so the idea of like his dad seeing him, acknowledging him, you know what I mean, was like such a huge thing, and I didn't necessarily expect it as a player, and so when it happened, I was taken a little off guard. So I was like, oh man, is this legit? I thought maybe Reid, you were gonna like work out some kind of way that like the Burgish dwarves have gotten like tricked by the bad guys to work for them, and there was going to be, you know, this tension here. So like I thought that this was still going to, I thought what I was doing was playing into something that was going to be ongoing, which made it even just more of a like a gut wrencher when like it was all for naught. So it was like it worked out very well, but that I feel like that's part of the beauty of D&D, like the sincerity of those moments.
Right. They don't happen all the time. I mean, as people that do this, you know, quasi professionally, like those don't happen all the time. So when they do, they feel really great, which is why it made like the sting of pulling the sword on you like hurt even more for me. I was just like, oh man, that's really tough.
Yeah.
I did feel really bad, but Mike's roll for a broken heart.
That was the best. He can do that. He just has these one-liners that just pull us right into like a good laugh in a hard moment.
The name of that episode was Save from a Broken Heart. Yeah, just because of Mike's contribution there. So that is all the clips we have for this quarantine content. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking with us. Again, we don't have like a solid release timetable for these, and with COVID and of course Josh and Kelsey's big life change, you know, just getting everyone together is tricky, and so Josh has got the burp rag again. So thank you guys, Josh and Dan, for carving time out for this, and thank you listeners for being engaged and for submitting questions, and for I get tweets and emails all the time. When you guys coming back? When you guys coming back? And believe me, it's as soon as humanly possible. That's not a platitude. What Dan said is he misses playing D&D. We all miss playing D&D so much. And
especially together, especially at this
time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is the best group I've ever played D&D with, hands down. It's the best group I will ever get to play D&D with, and so no one wants to get back to this more than us. I promise you guys. And so, thank you just for waiting, for being patient. And I know it's not easy, but again, it's your zeal for more Sneak Attack fuels us to continue to want to create the best version of Sneak Attack that we can. And we haven't been using this hiatus like just, you know, to sleep in and coast. I've been working really hard. I've been bouncing ideas off all the group, you know, sending them stuff I'm working on, and I think, you know, we're all itching. We're all right in that same mentality. So when we come back, we're going to hit it hard, and it's going to be really good. I believe that. So, anyways, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much. Just to repeat some stuff that we mentioned last time. We have shirts available, like Sneak Attack shirts available on our Cotton Bureau store page. They look strikingly similar to what Josh is wearing on his shoulder.
Kind of like my burp cloth.
We still have some pins, like a small number of pins. Pin packs are still available if you wanted to get some Sneak Attack enamel pin packs. So, like, I think just like a dozen or so are still left.
Get on that. Those things are awesome.
They'll ship anywhere in the world. So, and I still need to get you guys yours because we haven't seen each other.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
They're so great. And yeah, so there will be links for all that stuff in the episode description and the YouTube description. And yeah, so that'll be that. So again, just thank you guys so much. Thank you to the players for being a part of this. Thank you for the listeners for submitting these clips. We appreciate all of you like crazy. My name is Reid. I'm the host of Sneak Attack and the person talking right now. All around me we have
Dan.
Josh.
That's it. Thank you guys very much.
Lots of love at the table.
Hard hands. Dan, that looks like apple hands.
So I have such tiny baby hands, Reid. It's really hard to. I feel bad because my daughter will probably never be able to play basketball because of my tiny hands. There's a heart in there somewhere.